I'm gonna kneel down here and switch my slides. I hope that's not too weird. Um, Microbes, as everyone in this area knows, are ubiquitous. But for many years, people have not thought of them as a medium for creativity. I think everyone here does think of them in that way. And obviously, for many years, we've been thinking of them as a medium for creativity. I'm standing in front of my slide, but thank you, producer. Obviously, the bread, and we can keep going, and the wine are products of microbes, and keep going. And all of these products are the result of creativity with microbial life. But there's so much more to think about. Nope, missed one. There we go. There are about 1 trillion microbes out there that we are yet to explore as media for creativity, and I'm deeply excited for us to explore that together. One of the ways in which we've begun to explore that is with a program that we started at Genspace in New York City called the BioDesign Challenge. It started actually with a talk that I gave at MoMA in 2014, and it was with this diagram that it really came together. For those of you who can't see, basically it is asking the question of, what does innovation in biology look like? Who needs to be sitting around that table? And you'll see that among the groups there are the artists and designers, alongside of the biologists, alongside of ecologists, policymakers, ethicists, all sitting around together, having a conversation about what do we want from our biotechnology. And so not even a year later, we started something called the BioDesign Challenge, where we partnered biologists with our classrooms of artists and designers to imagine out the future of biotechnology. And so within the classrooms, these two very diverse, very different disciplines came together to educate students and then have the students present on stage to showcase their projects that have come out of these collaborations on stage at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. They've also gotten to showcase their work in galleries and then be judged by some of our illustrious judges. I'm just going to shout some people out because this is actually a really critical London moment here. So there's Paul Fremont, one of our judges. Oh, don't hide, Paul. We all see you. And a great supporter of the BioDesign Challenge. I think a lot of us know Anthony Dunn. He's over here too. Really a source of inspiration for a lot of what we do when we think about speculative design. And then who are these two people in the back? Who knew that this would, that moments like these would spur moments like this? So wonderful. Look how studious Tom looks. All right, well, I'll stop teasing and let's move on. And of course, people compete for prizes and then showcase in venues across the world. So this was the New York version of Design Week. Now we're at London Design Festival, Dutch Design Week. This is just spectacular, really, thank you. And I'll keep going. I think that the BioDesign Challenge is in some ways a symbol of what's going on in the larger world. So when we started in 2015, 2016, we had 9 schools participating. We were just in the United States. This last year, we had 27 schools participating. We were in 9 countries. And many of the exhibitors at this really spectacular show are here now from those early days. So it's growing and it's really exciting to see. I'm going to end with a little bit of an anecdote. I'm going to go very quickly because I know I'm running out of time. But the other day I was talking to a biologist and he asked a very simple question. He said, I really think that in a couple of years, in some time, we will be able to achieve mastery of all living matter. And so he asked, what do you want to do with that? And I've been thinking about that line, mastery of all living matter. And really, I feel I'm in tension with that line, because achieving mastery of a living system seems like I'm not quite sure I'm comfortable with mastery. But the question of what do we want to do, why are we using biology, is a really important one, and I think one that we as a community really need to. I see you two laughing back there, but I think it's one that we really need to think about as a community together. Some of the notions that I've heard before are that, you know, biotechnology used in tandem with what we do is going to supplant the ills of the Industrial Revolution. You'll hear people talk about industrial manufacturing as heat, beat, and treat. You heat, beat, and treat your products to make them, whereas a living system, you rather than heat them, they grow at ambient conditions. Rather than treat them, they grow in non-toxic conditions. And rather than heat, beat, and treat, and rather than beat them, they actually self-assemble. Wow, that's amazing. Other people have talked about, we could switch slides, have talked about, you know, living forever. This is, when you type in immortality, this is one of the first things that show up. Kind of bizarre. And then, you know, but the thing that I think I would like us to think about is, what does it mean to live harmoniously, or to work in harmony with biology, with living systems? You know, how do you think about harmony with living systems, not just on the time span of a human life, but really on evolutionary time spans? I think these are the types of questions that we need to be thinking about. What does harmony look like with a biological system? What does harmony look like when we're talking about the living world around us? I think what I'm seeing here in a lot of the exhibits, or a lot of the shows, a lot of the pieces in the show, really are beginning to ask those questions, are really beginning to find answers to those questions. And I encourage all of us to continue down that route, exploring what it means to work harmoniously with the natural world around us. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here.